Giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rikah Kodash, and double honor to the men of Great Millstone that is out there on the highway and byway pushing this truth day in and day out, also pushing this truth over the worldwide internet, reaching for the elect to pull them out of a two-thirds state of mind so that we can be beamed up on those chairs of salvation to live in the kingdom under King David and the supreme King Yahweh Shah, which he has the title of command and authority and rulership over heaven and earth. Though title was given to Yahweh Shah by his father Yahweh. Also, I'm not a member of GMS, but I believe GMS has the 100% truth of the Bible to the Akim and Aqua, which are the men and women that I listen, learn, and continue to pray for more faith, repent, and fast, and keep the laws and commandments to the best of your ability, as it states in John 14:15. If ye love me, keep my commandment. Also, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandment, for this is the whole duty of man. What you're about to see is the stupidity of our women. Listen, in the kingdom, we're not going to go through this. In the kingdom, it's not going to be no more stepdaddy. In the kingdom, it's going to be discipline. You know, not so much of us, because we're going to have those celestial bodies. You know, the laws and commandments are going to be written in our bodies, in our mind, I meant. And we're not going to have all this unrighteousness coming from our women. And I'm going to play this video, and this right here, I mean, this really do cooks. This really do cooks my nerves. It says here, this is by Cedric Maddox Art. I guess that's it. You know, fair use. I'm not making any money out of this video. Just going by scriptures, proving what I see through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. You know, it says it's so. I'm stepdaddy for the bill, but can't check your kids. You know, and that's the thing with a lot of our women. You know, they want a man to help them raise their children, but they don't want the man to discipline the kids. And it's the right thing to do, discipline. You know, we have to, you know, discipline our children. Because if you don't discipline your children, guess what? The streets are going to discipline your children. The police is going to discipline your children. And it's not going to be like what the stepdaddy is going to do to discipline them. They're going to unalive your sons, your daughters, both the streets and the police as well. They don't care. They'll listen, police, get your son because he's not disciplined, and put him behind bars for 20 to 30 years, all because he wasn't raised he wasn't raised properly. Listen, this world do not revolve around your kids. And this is what a lot of these young parents, well, middle-aged parents also, that have, you know, they wait until they get in their 40s and have children with this stupid mindset of you not going to discipline my kids. So let's just go ahead and play this video. And this right here is really going to cook your nerves.
Feel me disciplining your children.
Oh, hold up. So this is what I'm talking about. So when you was in the house being disciplined, that don't have nothing to do with me. Did your mama tell you to keep your hands to yourself?
My mama? Wait, what
your
my
mama? Why you talking about how you
was?
What
mama got to do with this?
Man, look, you're not gonna put your hands on my kids.
How?
You not gonna put your hands on my kids. They daddy not gonna put nobody. Me. You wait till I get home.
So you telling me
what?
I said all I'm saying was discipline.
Okay, well, what is discipline? What is discipline in your book? What is that?
You don't have to put this on the internet.
I can put it wherever I want.
Business.
I'm gonna send it to your mama. I'm gonna send it to your mama so she know what to do.
Smart. You're being smart.
You know what?
Smart.
Yeah, my IQ is very high.
Okay, well,
you're right.
And
did. So what?
All I'm trying to say, Monica,
oh my
is
gosh,
that discipline can be time out.
You extra. You're not putting nobody in time out. It's not gonna happen. No. Did you buy the toy? Did you buy it?
So you saying that I can't do?
Did you buy the toy?
So what I supposed to do work when it comes to be disciplining the children? I'm just asking the question.
You put your hands on my kids. If you didn't buy no toy, how you gonna take the toy from somebody?
What you mean?
Did you buy the toy?
It doesn't matter if I
Did you buy the toy?
So you saying?
Did you buy the toy?
You being immature right now.
No, you being immature.
How am I being?
Why you trying to? What you got? What kind of fetish you got with putting your hands on people?
I didn't say put my hands on them. I'm saying discipline. How do you feel about being disciplined?
I don't. I don't.
Discipline different, Monica.
I don't. You're right. You're right. You know, because you know why? Because I was not raised like that. You not finna put your hands on my kids. They daddy don't put their hands on them. Baby, these my kids.
I said discipline.
Who does that? Oh, you're not gonna do time out, time in. No, they mine.
So
they mine.
So I don't have no right to discipline. No kind of way.
Discipline. Who
does
that? Well, baby, guess what? You're not.
So what is it?
You know what? Do what you gotta do. Here's what you can do.
Okay.
Take me back to my car. That's what you can do. You could to my car. That's see that? Now you can tell them that. You know what? So what? Well, hey, you know what? You didn't. You wasn't minding being ghetto. Well, baby, hey, put the car in drive. Put the car in drive. Put the car. You know. See what I'm saying? This is what I mean.
I don't want to talk about it.
Baby, you need to work. Baby, before you get engaged to somebody, know who you getting engaged to.
See, now, this is why we need to get out of this right here. This is part of our hell that a man have to deal with a woman. And it can be vice versa with a woman dealing with a man that think like, this woman, they don't believe in disciplining their children. The Bible says, let me just go into the scripture. Let's get out. Give me 1 second. So here we go. We're going to go into Bible verses about discipline, right? And we're going to start here at Proverbs 12:1. Whoso loveth instruction love knowledge, but he, in this case, she that hateth reproof is brutish. She is hardened against him wanting to discipline their children. She suspects him to just be, the money man to pay the bills and, tend to her, and the kids can do whatever they want to her and to him. And when they're out in the public, he have no control over the situation. Brother, you in a bad situation. The best thing to do is to get out of that situation. When she was getting, talking big like she was a gangster, talking like, she can whoop your ass or whatever. And when she said that, take me back to my car, no, she would have paid her way back to her car. She would have Ubered her way, or she would have walked to her car. And that right there would have been the end of it, brother. Listen, you got out of there. I hope you didn't try to reconcile that situation. No, let that go, because that's going to be a headache. That's a future problem. And those kids, those children, are not going to respect you when you get of age and you need them to do something. They are not going to respect you and do it. They're going to respect their mama, but they are not going to respect you and do what you need them to do for you. We go to Proverbs 13:24. He that spares his rod hateth his son. If you don't discipline your son when he's out of line, or your daughter when she's out of line, you hate. It's almost like you pretty much hate your children because you don't want them to act right. They pushing on people, being a bully, not paying you any attention, and you just sit there and just let them live the way they want to live. it's almost like you hate them. You're not teaching them correct. You're not teaching them the right way to respect people, to respond to people, and to live. Because I'm telling you, if they act, if you don't discipline your child at home, and you let them get away with a smart mouth, you let them get away, you let them do what they want to do. When they get out there in the streets, they are not going to take heed to listening to people of authority or listening to people out there in the streets. Because I'm telling you, it's going to end bad for a lot of people, a lot of children that don't get discipline from their parents. You doing them what you call you doing them I forgot how they say it, but you're not what's the word I'm trying to get? You pushing them out there without teaching them of how to deal in society. I forgot how they say it, but I can't even think of it right now. But anyway, he that spare his rod hateth his son, but he that love him chastise him many times, because you want him to get it right. You want him or her to be a good citizen, a good citizen, a good person, a good student, a good friend, a good husband, a good wife. You know, the father teaches the son how to be a man. The mother, and also the father, teaches the girl how to be a woman. You know, and like the mother, she have a way of teaching her son of how a woman's supposed to be treated also, but mostly when the boy reached the age of 12, he go up on his father, wing, and he teach him how to be a man, and everything else just come natural. But the deal is, the woman was put forth in this world for the man, not the other way around. So the woman, she had to learn how to follow that man lead, and if she's not disciplined, she's not going to follow your lead, man. And that woman in this car that you see, this one here look like a old ass. But anyway, she is not disciplined. She's smart with the mouth because she knows she got protection, and she think that she can whoop this guy. She do not love this guy. She do not respect this guy. Because if she loved and respect this guy, she wouldn't be so blatantly rude to him on film, recording him. That's why he had said the world don't need to see or hear what we got going on for disciplining our children or her children or whatever. She's out of line, she's out of pocket. And in the kingdom, listen, we ain't gonna have that out of our women. The Lord is going to reprogram our women and men, and we're going to act accordingly to the commandments. We're going to know how to live. This right here, this is hell. You got one woman going off because she say those my children, my husband, their father don't know. If you dealing with a woman and she don't want you to discipline the kids, that's a red flag right there. Because the kids are going to lean more towards the mom because the father, he's more stern than the mom, and he's going to whoop them, and plus he'll be the first one to get sent to jail for child abuse because they're going to listen to their mom. Well, you say this and you say that because she don't believe in disciplining their children. That's a problem, and that's why you have so many hair-headed females end up being pregnant at an early age. And then on top of that, the mother and daughter fighting each other. and these young girls are getting beat in the street and getting, you know, put in somebody truck or van or whatever and get shipped off somewhere because you let them gag and abroad. No discipline. She getting with Jake and this Jake and this Edomite man and that Edomite man and that Elamite, you know, that Hamite, and then end up getting pregnant. Don't know who the father is because there's no discipline for the boy. He grow up being a bully. You know, don't want to go to school and learn nothing. Don't want to pay mom and dad any attention. He's out there in them games. You know, shooting and unaliving men that look, you know, boys that look like him. You know, disrespecting people in the neighborhood, knocking out old men and women. They call it the knockout game. This is what, when you don't discipline your children and being raised by a foolish, foolish woman like her. Proverb, let's go to, let me come back to this. Let's go to Proverb. This just popped up in my Proverb. What is it? 9 and 13. It says here, a foolish woman is clamorous, loud. Oh yeah, and she got that finger snapping, head twisting. Can't tell me nothing. Yeah, I guarantee you, she got louder than what she said on video after she cut it off. She's simple and knoweth nothing. See, a woman, you know, she have too much love for that child that she feel that I love my child so much and my child love me so much. I ain't got to discipline my child. See, when they reach a certain age and where you can't love them like you used to when they was a baby and they getting older, hey, you gonna be afraid of them because now they, you know, they coming up to your chest, up to your shoulder. Now they're eye to eye with you, and all that kissing and hugging and telling them to sit down when you get upset, and you pop them on the little hand or whatever. That ain't gonna work when they eye to eye to you. It's too late then. It's too late. Then you want to call the father to come get the boy because he don't want to listen. He don't, you know, he gotten too big now. You got to spend more money, you know, to keep him happy. He's upset and panicky just like you because he's learning how you are when you get frustrated, and he doing the same thing you doing. Now you want to turn him over to his father so that he can put up with the hell. So the Lord have pretty much, what is it, 37? Says here, something like you. Yeah, so, you know, our women just don't have that understanding. Well, this particular women that think like her would never get this understanding. You know, and she have a man that is willing to help her raise these kids through discipline so that when these kids get older, they won't have to worry about how much money that we need to raise or to come out of our account, you know, to get little Joey or get Mike or Nook or whatever out of jail because he's out there, you know, fighting in school, or he fought the police when the police, you know, just pulled him over because he got a broken tail light, and he out there fighting the police because he have that feminine spirit on him of you can't do nothing to me. You ain't my daddy. See, the child need discipline, but the woman, she don't understand. They said because this Job 39 and 17, because Yahweh have deprived her of wisdom, neither had he impaired to her understanding. That's why she popping off at the mouth, thinking that she right, and she's all the way wrong. All the way wrong. And this man here is doing his best, supposedly, I guess, is doing his best dealing with this woman and trying to help her raise this child, but she don't want to listen. She don't want to take heed. What is this? Ecclesiastes. Go to Ecclesiastes 30. Yeah, read Ecclesiastes 30 and well, it says that he that loved his son causing him to feel the rod. So when you, a man or a woman that love his son, his children, you often have to whoop him because you love him, because you want him or her to do right, not to go by how you feel, because that's where you feeling, and what you feel is right. The world do not circle around you, that he may have joy of him in the end. This woman gonna have hell with those kids in the end because you did not discipline them. And as kids, they want everything that they see, and guess what? You're gonna have to continue buying everything that they see and want because you have not put discipline in your kids to understand. Listen, you have to work to get what you want. Mama can't do all this every day, all day. Daddy can't do this every day, all day. You have to have some discipline. You have to understand that money don't grow on trees, but they don't understand it because they want what they want because there's no discipline. Verse 2, he that chastised his son shall have joy in him and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. So when your son is disciplined, he's mannerable, respectful. He's not snapping back, and mama and dad he do as what he been told to do, and also he respect mom and dad, company, their friends, their sisters and brothers, which is their, his or her auntie and uncle. They raised right. They come from good stock. And people can see if a child been raised right and came from good stock. Mom and daddy could come from good stock, but if you don't discipline your children, they're going to say, where does it come from? Mom and daddy don't act like that. Where did it come from? It's because mama don't want her child to be disciplined. She hated when her mother whooped her. Now she said, when I get grown, I ain't gonna whoop my children. I heard it a lot when I was in school. Now look at the kids today, all fucked up. He that teaches his son grieve the enemy. Esau don't want you to whoop your son and your daughter. That's why he put it, he got laws on parents that whoop their children. And that's why so many parents are afraid to whoop their children because them might lose their job or go to jail behind disciplining their children. This is Esau. He's contrary to the Bible. He's against the Bible. He says that good is bad and bad is good. We got to get out of here. Not just only behalf of evil, her wickedness, but also Esau, because he's the main criminal. The main problem, in our nation, because he's controlling our nation through our women. Three again, he that teaches his son grieve the enemy, and before his friend he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet he is, and though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he has left one behind him that is like himself. So when they see that daddy was a hard working man that took care of business, and he raised his son to be a hard working young man better than him, and took care of business better than his daddy, they'll say, man, he's just like his father. You know, it's almost like his father never died, because that's him. You know, his father being reincarnated through his son. You know? Let me go to Ecclesiastes, because I think it's 3. It says here, see, and this woman here popping off at the mouth, see, they don't want to hear this right here. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be safe. Pretty much keep the laws and commandments. You know, do as I tell you to do. Woman, you be submissive to a man, and when you get older and have children, you know, you show your daughters how to be submissive and love your husband. And to the man, show your son, you know, how to provide and how to take care of his family, right? So it says verse, and keep the laws and commandments. Verse 2, for the Lord hath given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the son. So the father, he's over the household, you know, her, because he's the head over her, and the children. And then the woman, she's over the children, you know, the son, the daughters, right? Says here, let me skip down to you bear with me. It's a scripture here where when a woman rules, she take out. She's yeah, I think this is verse 9. I'm gonna read 8. Honor thy father and thy mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come up upon thee from them. Verse 9. For the blessing of the father established the houses of children. So the blessing of the father established the houses of children. It builds it up. You have a strong foundation. You know, ain't no man is just gonna run up in there knowing that a man or a man of the Lord is in there that's going to, you know, that have a backbone, that's not going to let anything come in his house. A man know another man, right? But when that man ain't there, hey, any man feel that, hell, I can come up in there and do what I want. A homosexual man, he feel like, well, ain't no real man in there, and 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 if a woman there, I can be her best friend, and I can do whatever I want, because it's a weaker vessel in there. But when you got that strong vessel in there, he's stern. Hey, not too many men is gonna just jump up and come in that house and act a fool, because they know it's a man in there. But anyway, it says, for the blessing of the father established the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundation. And the deal is, when there's a woman running it, and let's say that it was situated just like what you see here, The man, he's the head. The woman, she's the lesser vessel, right? And she got 911. She got sent all in her corner, and you trying to rule your house with order, discipline, and she's against it. She would jump in the way, or call the police and get you up out of there. And when you get taken out of there, now anybody can come and do harm or do whatever they want to you, because there's no protection in the house. Your that establishment that man had, that fort, that wall of protection that he was presenting in the house is now gone. Now your foundation, the foundation of the house is destroyed. Now the kids are dealing with a mother that don't have discipline, that don't believe in discipline. Now they're going to grow up like wild weeds. And it's going to bring hell and tears to their woman eyes. Then she will learn, but it'll be too late. It'll be too late. Her son will already be in jail at the age of 13, 14 years old. And the girl will be already pregnant at 12, 13, 14 years old. Now you are a mother of another child, grandmother and a mother still to a child. And now you're trying to get money to get your son out of jail all by yourself. Let me show you this a video. I think it's Geraldine. I think it's Geraldine or something, where this man was dealing with this woman. She had a bunch of kids, and he went to discipline him, and she stood in the way. This is an example of why our homes are broken, and the reason why a lot of these children that have been raised up in the house with single parent women that do not believe in discipline. You're going to have your son growing up to be a homo or to be a thug, or your daughter to be pregnant at an early age, or to be, put in a situation that she might get kidnapped because she want to hit them streets because her hips grown out. She got a little butt on, she getting attention. See, a father in the house, he'll shut all that down. See? But let me just show you this video here. Give me 1 second. So I'm back. This is fair use, just to give you an example of how a woman destroyed the foundation of the house. You have a man in the house that is a participant to raise another child by another man, and you have women that want to jump in between a man trying to do his job to raise her son the correct way. So this is an example. This has been going on since, it's been going on for a long time. But this is the particular video that I want to put out there. When you don't discipline your children, they will be unruly. They will be, they don't have any care for adults that's way older than them. They want to say what they say because of how they feel. Uncontrolled wild boars. This is what our people are raising. This is what the women are raising. So check this out. Like I said, fair use. I'm gonna play about 2 minutes of this. And this particular movie is A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich. It's by Paul Winfield and Cicely Tyson.
That's what I mean. I had to get a steady job, or else rob somebody, or rip off the people, or hustle some woman. Okay, so I'm a maintenance man, but you gotta just stay straight and get yourself an education.
Yeah, I see.
Young people got so much going for them these days.
Seems like I ain't got nothing going for me but somebody's mouth. Get off of me, man. Get off of me. Watch it off. Watch it, I said. Get off of me.
Coming in at all hours. Coming in with a fresh mouth on top of it.
That's what you want to talk about, not musicians or opportunities.
You keep it up. You just keep talking. And you ain't gonna have no front teeth left. One more crack out of you, boy, and I'll slap the back off of you.
No, you won't. Don't you ever put your hand on him. That's my child. And no man is gonna put his hands on my
If
child.
the police pick his ass up off the street, you ain't gonna have no child.
Get in your room, Angie. Get in there. Now, I say. You are not to touch him. I mean, that's all. I am through with it.
No, that is not all. Don't be bringing me into that, sweets. Benjamin Johnson thinks he is 30, but he is only 13 years old, and he's better off learning that from me than from some stranger on the streets. First it's straighten out Benji, and now it's what some man ain't gonna come in here and do to your child. Well, I do not play that. Rose.
See, and like I said, women, you gonna understand. You gonna understand soon to come that when your young boys and your young girls get old enough that you can't put the fear of God in them no more. You can't control them because, you know, all you are is just a nurturer, you know. And when it come down to discipline, women that don't discipline their children, these kids are going to run over you. And you see that little tear in the eyes. Listen, you're going to be wailing when your kids disrespect you, don't want to do anything for you, and they in and out of jail. You know, your daughter got 6 kids by 6 different men and counting. You're going to know that you have failed. You're going to know that the big part of the family puzzle is the man. And the man, most men are most disciplinarians. That's very important for the girl and the boy. So I'm gonna end it right there. Let me see if there's any more. Let me go here, see if there's any more. Proverbs 3:11 and 12. It says here, my son, despise not the chastising of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. You know, but like I said, the mother, she uproot the foundation of the house. The father established it. The woman, she uprooted. You know, because she don't want to see her kids cry. She don't want her kids to be disciplined. I'm telling you, when they get out there in them streets, those people, they ain't gonna love you like daddy and mama would. When your kids get out there in the street, the police ain't gonna love your kids like mama and daddy would. So mothers, sit back and let these stepdaddies, or, you know, the daddies, you know, that's raising your child, let them discipline your child, even if it come down to a whooping. They need it. You don't understand it because you are a nurturer. You are, you know, you want to hug and kiss, and that's your job as a mother. Now, all women are not like that. There's some women that go in on whooping their kid, but there's a lot of mothers, they don't believe that. But the deal is, you're going to raise a problem child when they get older, and he and she's going to break your heart over and over and over again. So, you know, just like this woman here, a lot of you're going to be crying just like Sister Tyler here in the kitchen, because you don't believe in disciplining your kids. So I'm going to end it right here. Shalom.